Hope everybody had a good day today. It's 7:30 on October the 12th, 2017, and somebody had hinted I ought to just make a video on my August 21st, 2017 dream in the pre-dawn before the solar eclipse happened. What I dreamed, and then what a couple of the names mean, and then this one other thing that I read earlier today from Luke 11 verse 34 about the light of the whole body being the eye. And 34, the light of the body is the eye. Therefore, when your eye is single, your whole body is full of light, but when your eye is evil, your body is also full of darkness. Like you have more than one vision, that's division. And you know, I feel like in my spirit, that's why some people have dreamt about two suns. You know, Baal was the sun god, and Mystery Babylon gets a double portion. You know, I wonder about that. And you know, the moon god, you know, referring to Artemis and Diana, and you know, the Queen of Heaven, I think it was, and the two moons, you know, Babylon getting a double portion, and that Eagle song, Witchy Woman, she's got the moon in her eyes, and you know, that eclipsed all the light, and think like children. Let's get to this dream. August 21st, I'm going to read the dream and interpret the dream as I go. August 21st, 2017. I dreamed I went to some place. It was a store. That represents spiritually, you know, where you're getting things. A store in a dream. My mother had been there. A mother represents where is something spiritually born from. You know, what type of thing is being spiritually born. You know, the mother gives birth. So my mother had been there, and after a while, I left that room and walked into the big room, which was the store part, and I found my mother dead on the floor. Just remember, Babylon, mother of harlots, is judged suddenly. My mother was dead on the floor. She had been struck by lightning. That represents sudden judgment. I went back into the other room, and then I said I was frustrated how the traffic light wouldn't change and had stalled and been red so long. The interpretation was that it was saying, in my spirit, I was frustrated at Babylon's sin, you know, which was red, and you know, had gotten my hopes up, and you know, the Lord had, you know, allowed it to be prolonged so more people could come to Him. You know, it's what that was about, and it was just like after so long, you keep hearing it, you're like, you get anxious and impatient to see something come to pass, and it doesn't. It's what this is referring to. And traffic refers to the thoughts going through your mind in the spiritual realm. And, you know, I've been thinking about it, and it was like it couldn't move. And then I said, I'm leaving. Well, I happened to hit a green light, and I left. Then I saw my mother's old clothes. Garments are spiritual coverings. Old means referring to the old former ways. Old coverings. but she was not hurt. And, you know, is your mother going to be the one of this world, or are you going to let your spiritual things be born out of heaven? And Jesus Christ is what this is pointing to. So, found my mother's old clothes, but she was not hurt. If you believe in Jesus Christ, your mother won't be hurt. And she was not injured. She was suddenly gone. If you believe in Him, you go in the rapture. And from the store, and it was a grocery store, and the lights were fluorescent. I was just leaving, and the name Kaiser came up. Then I heard the word Nibiru come up, and then I said if I had just left sooner, the traffic wouldn't have caused me so many problems or any accidents. Well, I lived in Oklahoma. That's referred to as the Sooner State, and there was some spiritual problems there, and that's only as far as I'm going. If I'd have left the Sooner State faster, my thoughts wouldn't have been so bad and wouldn't have plagued my mind like I admit it does. And you know, but in the end, it never caused any problem. The light was still green. Green is the color of life. Green means go. And I was heading outside. You head outside, that means you're thinking, you know, outside of your normal little world, and the traffic was gone. And meaning all the bad stuff was gone if you'll just have faith and believe and be patient. Lights were not red over long stalling me anymore, and that was referring to the tarrying so more people could come to Christ, and is what that was about. And you know, I fell short and sinned in that because I wasn't patient, and I admit it. And then by it seemed grace, I finally hit a green traffic light, and then I said, I'm finally going on my way. Red or green, and wouldn't be stalled anymore. Jesus forgives all sin. If you believe in Him, that's a green light. Green is the color of life. And I've had other dreams where He's revealed that to me. Again, don't read Chad, read your Bible. Let's look at the word Kaiser. It was my dream K-I-S-E-R, but it's really it's K-A-I-S-E-R. And here's some definitions. They were rulers of the Roman Empire from the year 962 to 1806. Austria and German rulers 1871 to 1918 were Kaisers. Rulers of Rome were called Kaisers, and Romulus. An empress is a Kaiser. Caesarism, Kaiserism. And you know, Babylon, you know, revolves around Rome, and now we know that's why I dreamed Kaiser. And if you look out in California, where the head of gold, the Golden State, and then Daniel's dream, the head of gold, you know, was Babylon, they had to evacuate Kaiser Permanente. And, you know, that name Kaiser came up, and that's what got me thinking about Kaiser. Because, you know, I had dreamt that, and I don't hear Kaiser every day, and the only Kaiser that I knew was years ago. And another thing is, looking at the news, you know, Trump, I just discern in my spirit that, like, if you look at a weather pattern, the only way I know how to describe it, a high pressure ridge that's real strong, you know, starting to weaken. You know, I think that things in the political world are starting to break down. The high pressure ridge is starting to break down, and you know, when that weakens, you know, bad storms come in, and you know, he said this is the calm before the storm. And in 2011 I had that dream and that voice right before I woke up that about knocked me out of the bed. I couldn't go back to sleep rest of the night. It was so loud, and it was this: and God said this is a calm before the storm in America. I dreamt that in 2011, and we really need to watch things, because I'll just be truthful about it. America's in serious trouble, and I'm just telling the truth about it, and I hope somebody gets something out of this. And I don't think Trump's gonna recertify the nuclear deal with Iran, and I'm telling you, they got a hornet's nest up there, and I'm just letting you know there was a hornet's nest ahead of time, and they fixing to take a rock and knock the bottom out of it, and that'll be a mess when they do. And hope everybody has a good night.